Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the sound of a spoon stirring into a cup of tea. The soft clink of sugar crystals dissolving, disappearing, sweetening everything it touches. It looks innocent, right? A sprinkle of pleasure, a tiny moment of comfort. But that sweetness carries a secret, one that your brain has been keeping for far too long. Sugar isn't just a taste. It's a whisper, a craving, a chemical switch that rewires the way your mind feels joy. We think we're choosing sweetness, but more often, sweetness is choosing us. You see, the brain doesn't just enjoy sugar, it worships it. The first time sugar touches your tongue, taste receptors send signals racing through the nervous system, lighting up your reward circuit like fireworks. Dopamine, the same chemical that fuels love, motivation, and addiction, floods your system. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a line of cocaine and a spoon of sugar in terms of pleasure response. It just knows it wants more, and in that moment, you're no longer eating to nourish your body. You're feeding your neurons their favorite drug. We've been trained to think of sugar as energy, quick fuel, instant power, and yes, in the purest biological sense, glucose is the body's preferred source of energy. But the problem isn't fuel, it's overdose. Because the modern diet doesn't offer sugar as nature intended, slow, locked inside fiber, cushioned by vitamins and minerals. It delivers it in floods, in sodas, cereals, sauces, and snacks. Sugar stripped of its companions, entering the bloodstream like a riot. And when your brain gets used to that surge, it starts chasing the high again and again. Soon, you're not eating because you're hungry. You're eating because your brain misses the dopamine rush. But what happens after the rush fades? That's the part we rarely talk about. The crash. When your blood sugar plummets, your brain panics. You feel foggy, irritable, anxious. Your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, trying to bring you back to balance. That's why after a sugary meal, you can feel both euphoric and exhausted in the same hour. The brain isn't designed for these chemical roller coasters. Over time, the constant highs and lows start dulling your sensitivity to pleasure. You need more sugar to feel the same joy, and suddenly, happiness itself starts depending on what's on your plate. Deep inside your brain, sugar changes your architecture. Studies show it shrinks the hippocampus, the part responsible for memory and learning. It inflames neurons, interfering with signals that help you focus, recall, and regulate mood. Ever notice how after a sugar binge, your thoughts feel scattered, your patience thinner, your motivation lower? That's not coincidence. It's chemistry. Sugar hijacks your prefrontal cortex, the part that helps you make decisions and control impulses. It silences logic and amplifies craving. In essence, it makes the brain louder where it shouldn't be and quieter where it should. Here's the darker truth. Sugar doesn't just feed your cravings, it feeds your fear, your stress, and your self-doubt. The dopamine hit feels like comfort, a hug for the anxious brain, but it's temporary. When that hit fades, you're left emptier than before. The brain interprets that emptiness as danger, so it craves another fix. The result? A loop. Reward, crash, craving, repeat. Every dessert becomes both the medicine and the poison, and with each cycle, the threshold for satisfaction climbs higher. It's like chasing light in a tunnel that keeps stretching further away. If you've ever tried quitting sugar, you know the withdrawal isn't just physical, it's emotional. The brain protests, flooding you with fatigue, mood swings, headaches, even sadness. Because it's not just losing sweetness, it's losing a friend, a comfort, a ritual. For years, we've used sugar to celebrate, to soothe, to cope. Birthday cakes, heartbreak chocolates, victory desserts. Our memories are sugared. So when we try to walk away, it's not just the chemical addiction we're fighting. It's nostalgia. It's the ghost of every happy moment we've ever sweetened. But here's the hope. The brain is plastic. It heals. It rewires. When you start breaking free, even slowly, your dopamine system begins to reset. Your taste buds reawaken. Fruits start tasting sweeter. Energy stops crashing mid-afternoon. Focus returns. Mood stabilizes. It's like fog lifting from a long grey horizon. You start realizing that real sweetness doesn't come from a packet. It comes from balance, clarity, and calm. From knowing you're finally back in control. Let's look deeper, biologically. Every cell in your brain depends on glucose to function. But too much glucose becomes toxic. It causes oxidative stress, inflammation, and eventually, something scientists call insulin resistance. Not just in your body, but in your brain. When brain cells stop responding to insulin properly, their energy supply falters. This condition is now linked to cognitive decline and Alzheimer's. Some researchers even call it type 3 diabetes. It's a chilling reminder that what sweetens your tongue today can fog your mind tomorrow. And this isn't just about aging. High-sugar diets affect mood disorders too. When dopamine receptors are constantly overstimulated, they start shutting down, making it harder for you to feel pleasure naturally. This contributes to depression, anxiety, and burnout. It's not that sugar causes sadness, it's that it steals the brain's ability to feel joy without it. Think about that for a second. Something we consume for comfort ends up dulling the very system that makes us feel alive. Still, the story of sugar isn't about guilt, it's about awareness. Because sugar, in moderation, isn't evil. It's energy, it's biology, it's part of life. The danger begins when we start mistaking pleasure for peace. Real peace doesn't come from stimulation, it comes from stability. You can still enjoy sweetness, just not dependency. You can savor dessert without turning it into a daily drug. The key is to reconnect with the body's rhythm, to taste the difference between hunger and habit, comfort and craving. The irony is, the less sugar you consume, the more you actually taste life. The tang of fruit, the texture of grains, the aroma of real food, they return vivid and alive. Your brain recalibrates its reward system, making ordinary things feel extraordinary again. That morning walk feels lighter, music sounds richer, sleep feels deeper. That's the body whispering, "Thank you," in its quiet, biochemical way. When the noise of addiction fades, the symphony of health begins. Think of sugar like a language your body speaks fluently, but one that's been distorted by modern noise. You can't unlearn sweetness, but you can learn its dialects again. Natural sugars in fruits and vegetables come with fiber, antioxidants, and water, the way nature intended. They release energy gradually, keeping the brain calm and steady. When you shift toward whole foods, your brain stops chasing spikes and starts enjoying harmony. That harmony, over time, builds resilience, mental clarity, emotional steadiness, and a grounded sense of satisfaction that no candy bar can match. And yet, the world around us isn't helping. Sugar hides in places we'd never expect, in sauces, breads, dressings, even healthy granola bars. The food industry knows how your brain works. They engineer bliss points, the perfect combination of sugar, fat, and salt that hijacks your senses. It's not your fault you crave it, it's by design. So instead of shame, what you need is strategy, awareness, the courage to read labels, to cook more often, to choose foods that love you back. Every small choice rewires your biology toward freedom. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow, and instead of coffee laced with syrup, you sip warm water with lemon. You eat oatmeal with berries instead of frosted flakes. You skip the mid-morning pastry and walk outside for a few breaths of sunlight. By lunch, your mind feels clearer. By evening, you don't crash, you flow. Over weeks, your skin glows brighter, your thoughts sharpen, your mood lifts. That's not a miracle, that's biology reclaiming its rhythm. Every cell saying, "Finally, I can breathe again." This isn't a call to reject sweetness. It's an invitation to rediscover real sweetness, the kind that doesn't fade. Sweetness in self-discipline, in clarity, in waking up without brain fog, in tasting food without guilt. The kind that lives in laughter, sunlight, and gratitude. The kind that your body doesn't have to pay interest on later, because life is meant to be savored, not spiked and crashed. When you understand sugar's story, you stop fearing it. You start seeing it for what it is, a signal, a mirror reflecting the way your brain seeks comfort. And when you learn to comfort yourself through movement, rest, connection, and real nourishment, sugar loses its throne. You become the author again. You decide how much sweetness you need, not the other way around. Your brain is the orchestra of your life. Every decision, every memory, every emotion plays its note. Sugar might have conducted for a while, setting the tempo too fast, too loud, but now it's time for you to take back the baton, slow the rhythm, change the melody. Let your mind breathe between beats, because true energy doesn't come from stimulation, it comes from balance. So the next time you reach for something sweet, pause. Ask yourself, what am I really craving? Taste or tenderness? Flavor or freedom? That tiny question can transform your relationship with food forever, because every conscious choice rewrites your neural script. You are not weak for craving sugar. You are human, but you are also powerful enough to choose what kind of human you become. And when that choice becomes a lifestyle, not a punishment, but a liberation, everything changes. You sleep better, think clearer, feel lighter. You stop chasing highs and start living steady. You realize that health isn't about restriction. It's about rhythm. The rhythm of real nourishment, real rest, real joy. Sugar once masked that rhythm. Now you can hear it again, pure and strong. The truth about sugar is simple. It doesn't just feed your body, it feeds your story. But your story can change. You can write a new chapter, one where sweetness no longer controls the plot, but merely adds flavor to the journey. And in that story, your brain isn't a battlefield. It's a garden, one that grows best when watered with awareness, nourished with real food, and lit by the sunlight of balance. So taste wisely, live fully, and remember, you were never meant to be addicted to what you eat. You were meant to be awakened by it. Stay awake, stay vibrant. This is Vital Dynasty.